Hi guys, it's Brian, and we are doing an open box review of a kit. It was a special request by our friend over at Topper Vision, and we're going to get to that in just a second. But first, we want to say thank you to Rick over at Down the Throat Modeling. Rick, we got your card. I believe it was earlier last week, but we did not have a chance to do a video and say thank you very much for this. But our opportunity is now, so thank you very much for this. We do appreciate the very, very kind words in the back, and we're very happy to support your channel, sir, as you do ours. I do believe you can never go wrong with a 55 Chevy, and I am a fan of submarines. I've actually had family serve on submarines, and these are fascinating machines. And I'm going to go on a limb and say that that's possibly Flash Gordon's rocket ship there. It's hard to know between Flash Gordon and Buck Rogers. They looked, to me, they always looked kind of similar, but I love the colorations that you used on that. I like that a lot. And then down here we have a PT boat, which is pretty cool. I like the paint scheme on that. So very awesome card, Rick. Thank you very much for sending that to us. It's going to go into the binder of fame now. So moving on, our friend over at Topper Vision had seen our most recent stash acquisition video and had asked if we could do an open box review of the Dome-0. So here we go. Now ours is a little crunched. It's a little worse for wear. It's lived a life already. So, it's a kit that's near and dear to my heart because I remember discovering the Dome-0 when I was a kid. I've told the story before about how we had the pocket car. I believe it was Tamika. Here's like here's a little slide of what they used to look like. Maybe this will jog a memory for you guys. But yeah, I remember seeing these in all the fine places you can buy Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars and stuff like that. And I always thought the Tamika pocket cars were cool because they were, JDM vehicles and stuff that we don't normally see in our daily lives here in the States. So I always thought that was really cool. I have to digress here for a second. I'll digress in a second, but I have to sidetrack for a second here. Another Hot Wheels like manufacturer was Majorette. I used to love those vehicles. Did not know they were French for the longest time, but still really like those little pocket car things. So now we're digressing. This kit here came to us through the storage facility sale that we had been let in on, and we're very happy to find out about it. And yeah, seeing this there, I just put this on the stack, and Mrs. BG was like, she worked her magic, swung a deal on this guy here, so we were super stoked about it. And in preparation for this video, I decided to go ahead and do some research about the actual vehicle itself, and found a couple of fascinating things about this vehicle. First off, the design of it was started in 1975. It finally made its debut in 1978 at the Geneva Auto Show. I think a lot of us know what that is, but if you're not familiar with the Geneva Auto Show, it is, I believe, the pinnacle of all auto shows, followed closely by, I think, the New York Auto Show, and then possibly, I think there's one in London. I'm not quite sure. I can't remember about that one, but there's like if you want to get some high profile, what's the best way to say it? High profile exposure, the Geneva Auto Show, that's the thing. So a lot of amazing vehicles have been revealed there when they were first introduced to us, and this was no slouch as well. Now, sadly, this particular vehicle had problems becoming a production vehicle. They wanted to do the homologation type of thing to make the street cars so they could sell them and then make them as race cars, because originally this was designed to be a Le Mans racer. It wanted to be the 24-hour Le Mans contender, and because they had such cool looking body panels and all that kind of stuff, and they're really pushing the envelope with materials and stuff in the creation of this vehicle, they did have to kind of resort to off-the-shelf parts for I believe, suspension and engine drivetrain. So it used a typical inline six engine, the one that you would find in the 280Z, but because of the revolutionary body shape and materials they had made the vehicle out of, the power to weight ratio came out to be approximately what a Porsche Turbo was running in those days. So that's pretty respectable for an inline six, right? It was a mid-engine vehicle, so all of these little vents and grills and stuff here we see are for the radiator and probably oil cooling and stuff like that. And yes, that is a window that we see in the side there. We'll get to that in a little bit. But love this box art because it is a retouched photo of the real car, so that is cool. So that's going to be helpful when we get to our painting aspects of the vehicle. But yeah, let's get on to the show. So first off, here's our instructions, and I do have to chuckle about this because all of these steps and everything we see in here, this is all about what not to do and how not to hurt yourself. And this poor little guy is leading a really hard life here. But and down below we have the almanac of all the parts that are supposed to be in here. But there are nearly as many warnings and cautions about how to build a model in general as there are instruction steps on how to build this particular model. So on this page, we only go to number 4, and then I'll go from the back page here, we go all the way up to number 10, where you slap the tires on the thing. So it's a very straightforward build, but it just made me kind of chuckle out loud that COL, COL, I just coined that, that the warnings and stuff were just as long as the actual build instructions. And I'll bet the reason why this is this large is because of the warnings and stuff. So that's kind of funny there. Moving on to the styrene. Now, everything was bagged originally, and we took it out of bags because the crinkling thing, the microphone on our cameras just picks up the crinkling thing so much easier than it does our voice. And you know, I have a melodic voice and like to share it as much as I can. But we'll start off with the body. Nice wedge shape. Look at that, flying wedge. It's the fastest doorstop in Japan. And yes, these guys here, when we're looking at it, we can see a lot of similarities for other vehicles like the Lancia Stratos right through here. And then overall shape, I mean, we're kind of getting the Lamborghini Countach flavor of that type of thing. And then, I mean, right through here, I'm seeing Ferrari 308. There's a lot of inspiration stuff going on here. And we'll notice that we have 2 individual vents there. And then on this side here, we have one large one. It's kind of an interesting design feature. So that's side specific. So perhaps one's an oil cooler, one is a secondary radiator, who knows. These little windows right here on the side we had mentioned earlier. Yes, there's kind of a strange place to put a window, right, at the top of the door. But look at how low, what an angle this is, the side window is, and how high that belt line is. So what's funny is, well, I shouldn't say belt line. This is a belt line. This is a hip. So you see how high that hip is, that you might actually need, if you're really reclined in this thing, this window to look out through the side. Also, I had heard that this window lowers. So this is, you know, how you reach out and pay toll or pick up your noodles or your McDonald's or whatever you're doing through drive-through. And I'm, of course, pointing to the passenger side of the car because it is right-hand drive. So, and the doors do open up in a scissor fashion on the real car. And the little pocket car that I had, the doors actually did open on it, so I thought that was pretty slick. And then this looks like it's going to be little holes here for our wiper blades, so that's kind of cool. And then the headlights actually have doors molded in place, so we can leave them down if we choose to, or have them in the up position. And we'll show you that on the transparent tree here in a second. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be very, very basic because this is sadly a battery-operated toy. But I don't mind because the overall aesthetic of the vehicle and the fact that it's just so cool is something that helps me overlook all that. So here's our transparent piece. And then when I first took this out of the box and was looking at it, I thought, man, that's kind of weird that it comes with a display stand. Oh no, this is the actual windshield and side windows and rear window piece that just plugs right up inside there. So it's semi-transparent. It's a little cloudy. But these guys here are some flying buttresses that go on the back of the car body. And they're going to go, let's see if we can catch the light just right. There we go. You can see where they're kind of, we're going to path right through there and match up to the backside of the, I don't know what you're going to call it, the cockpit roof. But yeah, those, I think we need to do some painting around the outside of this guy here and just sort of do a nice little mask off and do some painting there. And then here's our little side windows we were talking about and tail lights. And then here's our headlights. So see how they can probably attach in the up position, and then we would just put the actual body color piece on the back side of that and paint everything in to make it look black or whatever. And then just have the headlights in the up position. And then these are the little turn signals that go right down in front there. And on the box art, they're just orange squares, but I think we can do a better job when we actually assemble the vehicle ourselves. And then I'm thinking that's actually a number card backing plate. Be an interesting thing to have a transparent number card plate, huh? But there we go. There's a transparent tree there. And that's pretty good looking. I mean, I'm not seeing any flash on anything on here. So that's really slick. Here is the chassis pan. And again, there's the battery box. And then the suspension on here is all pretty rudimentary, but it's positionable. So you can have the front wheels turned if you want to, for racing around on the floor or something like that. Here's our big hoop for the little motor that would have come with the kit originally, perhaps. Very, very basic instrument panel. So basic so that I have it backwards. There we go. And there we go. There's the instrument panel with all the instruments. It's all digital. And then the steering wheel is kind of cool looking. This makes me think of Citroen's, this steering wheel right here. That's kind of slick. So yeah, pretty basic stuff. But again, it's all about the aesthetics of the vehicle, not so much the internals. And as I was looking at the instructions a few minutes ago, I happened to notice that they actually have this piece here grayed out saying that you don't need it. So I'm like, wow, cool. I wouldn't even know what to use that for, but thanks. The battery door cover. These are the inserts for the little vents that we saw. So you can see this one's split into two for the passenger side, and that's one large one for the driver's side. And the interior, sad as it is, look at this. It looks like a bench at the mall. Yep. And then I guess at least we get to put a dashboard on there with the instrument panel. And then, oh, here we go. Here's our wiper blade. Big, giant wiper blade. Do we have a smaller one? I don't see one on this tree. Maybe we just have the one. Strange. Oh, wait, no. I tell a lie. It's on the other one. It's this little guy right here. There we go. It's nice having this black plastic tree in front of a black background, right? You did. Good job, Brian. But chrome tree basically consists of the wheels mostly, and then this is supposed to be like the end of the transmission detail, transaxle detail. But I tell you what, these center cap things here, for some reason, really make me think of RoboCop for some reason. The way these are molded, it just makes me think of good old RoboCop. And the car in the actual box art does look like something RoboCop probably would have been driving. But there we go. There we have it, guys and gals. Thanks again for tuning in and sticking with us, even though we haven't done much lately. Mrs. BG has been handling the channel for us. We've just been giving our voice a rest and cooking and cleaning and all the stuff that goes along with having family over for, holidays and all that jazz. So for the rest of the week, everybody, take it easy. Have a good time. Enjoy whatever you can enjoy. We're getting into the Christmas season, and my favorite time of the year, personally, and I hope you all have a good rest of the week. I'm going to get on to some more ornament repairs. The 110-degree attic does not, hot glue, it does not like being up there. So we're going to figure out a different way to get this guy fixed. All right, y'all, take it easy, and we'll talk to you a little bit later on. Bye now.